gente. Woo! Welcome to Keeping It Real with me, the Freakin Rican, and Leo.
Yeah. I'm here. So it's good to give that scream in the back. Yeah.
I know. So it's Monday, so you know you could always find this show at 5 o'clock on YouTube and on
LosRadio.com.
Yes.
There you go.
So today I am very, very excited because we have a special guest today. We're going to be talking about her journey and her growing pains. This special guest is one of my good friends. And without further ado, I'm going to introduce Lynne Schaffer.
Yeah, Lynn. Woo!
Hi, Lynne.
Hi. Am I on? Am I on?
Yes. So I've known Lynne for, wow, how many years, Lynne? Maybe about close to.
It's gonna be
like
be seven.
Yeah,
almost
like
seven, because that's part of the journey of I met you when I got sober. So
yes. So I met Lynne at Bergdorf Goodman. We were both doing makeup. I worked for Trish McAvoy and she was with Dior. And we yeah. And I don't know how it came about. How did everything come about that you?
I'll tell you.
Yeah.
You kept coming over to the Dior counter, and you were like, oh, it was when Victor was away or whatever, and you were like missing him, and you would just come over and just, I don't know, we would just kind of
Chat,
like,
right? Yeah.
I was like, who is this guy? He keeps coming over here. And I was like,
it's so funny. As I was trying to pull people to sell to our yeah, that was a crazy world. But yeah, I wanted, we had
the couches, remember? Because we had those couches, and you would sit in the couch, and it's a beautiful, beautiful section of
Bergdorf.
The cosmetic department.
Yeah. If you guys haven't checked out Bergdorf Goodman, you have to go down to the basement where is the beauty counters. Absolutely beautiful. And Dior had a really nice setup. But so yeah, that's how we met. And basically what happened was Victor and I had just rented a 2-bedroom apartment, and we were like, we could use a roommate. I don't know how it came about that I spoke to you and told you, hey, and you're like, okay. So then she decided to move, and she was like panicking, and I was like normal, because I didn't know. Panicking. But she was panicking because of kind of something that she felt that she needed to tell us. And so you could take it from there, Lynn. Basically, I remember we went up to the cafeteria, and you were like, just before I move with you guys, I just have to open up about something. And yeah, tell us what you said.
Yeah, so I felt like, I don't know, I felt like I needed to kind of give you a heads up, because I was so newly sober. So I've been sober for 7 years, and a few months. My sobriety date is August 1st, 2013. So I was about 3 months sober.
Oh, was it? I thought it was much less than that.
Maybe it was like a month or something.
Yeah, I think it was,
maybe.
Yeah.
And I was like in a total blur anyways, because I was just kind of like new in the skin of sobriety, and just like kind of, I don't know, just feeling weird.
Right. Because you were so used to being under something that it was so new to you to be you, It was so raw. Like, it was a very raw weird feeling. Right.
Yeah. And so I just felt like I needed to tell you, because I wasn't like sure like what was going to happen with me.
Right.
Like,
right. Yeah, I
didn't trust my own self, and I thought that there was something that I needed to share with you in moving in with you. So. And
really, you didn't know. We didn't really know. We were work buddies, but we, is living with people. I mean, it's totally different, So, of course, we were nervous. When you told me that, I was like, oh, my God. I told Victor, I was like, I remember, because, when Victor, when you moved in, Victor was already back,
yes.
from detention.
But by the way, Victor is on the chat. He said Lynn was in Howard Beach for a couple of days with us before the 2-bedroom.
Yes. Our humble beginnings.
That's when I got introduced to Bustelo. Hello. Yes. And I've been drinking it ever since. Every single morning in this same cup. I swear
so you're all wired up.
To God.
I
swear
know.
to God.
I know you.
This exact same cup, and it was introduced, and you introduced me to Bustelo, and then when I moved in with you guys, you gifted me this beautiful cup with a little bear in it.
What coffee?
And I drink it use it every morning.
Say it.
What coffee?
Bustelo.
So basically, she has a BF and an AF.
Yeah.
So before Bustelo, before BB. Or an AF, or after Bustelo, AB.
Yes.
There you go.
So I remember you telling me. I
got a little Puerto Rican in me, so.
Hello.
Wait, don't take that. That came out wrong.
Yeah, it did. So getting back to your story, I remember you telling us, and I was a little panicked. Actually, Victor and I were both panicked because, in the kitchen, we always kept a lot of bottles of liquor, but we weren't big drinkers. So I know that we told you this story, Lynn, that we actually took all the liquor bottles and put them in our closet in our bedroom because we didn't want to like disrespect you in any way, and we didn't want you to be tempted to maybe have a drink. You know what I'm saying? Because that was so new to us. We were never, but no, I mean, your story is pretty incredible because I've known you now for 7 years. We both come from the same upbringing. I tested out waters with, many substances, and to be able to get out of that and just do better and not let your circumstance kind of dictate your future. How did you, when was it what was it that made you say, you know what,
this is
I'm
enough.
yeah, that's it. When was that breaking point?
Well, so a lot of my story is, and a lot of my story still to this day is a spiritual journey. Okay. So I had a spiritual experience, and I'm really good at being guided by my inner compass. I've always kind of felt, close to my higher power, which I choose to call God. And, that has a lot to do with me, with everything that I do. I believe that desires are God-given, and you take action on them, and you are always guided, and that God puts people in your life for a reason. Okay. So you're like, God was like, here's Derick and Victor, like he does that. And so, yeah, I was guided to New York, because I wanted to live there. I just wanted to live there. And I had been with Dior. So I was with Dior for 15 years, but I guess at that time I was with them for like 10 or 11 or something. And I asked my boss if I could transfer with them. I was subcontracted with them, so I traveled with them in the Southeast region and just kind of all over. And so I transferred. And little did I know, that the reason why I feel like God had called me over there, not just to further my career and have more experience under my belt, but was that I was going to hit rock bottom in New York. And, prior to moving to New York, I had a DUI. So I moved to New York. I sold my car. I didn't have to drive, and I could, kind of party the way that I wanted to without any family or friends around me. So I moved to New York with basically 2 suitcases and a dream, I always tell people. And I was living a Jekyll and Hyde life, I was living the poshy kind of hoity-toity life that I wanted to live, with this grandiose thinking, with Dior, and being able to hide it really well, as I guess you call a functioning alcoholic, but really I wasn't functioning, but I was able to look like, I guess, a functioning person.
From knowing you, I would have never thought,
We're really good at that, unfortunately. We're really good at being sneaky, but not something to be proud of, but something that, is a characteristic of addicts, But anyway, I was living in New York for a few years before it happened. And I was on the subway one day, and I had a white light experience, and it sounds like a made up story, but I was just like riding the subway, and all of a sudden I got this like wave of like dizziness, and I thought, holy
where were you going?
Shit. I don't even.
Do you remember?
I don't even know because I actually, yes, I do know where I was going. I was going to where I was living before I was living with you guys in that place.
Okay.
I was, because I had moved to New York and I was subletting. I subletted like 6 different places. I like moved 6 different times because one is it's expensive to live in New York. So when you sublet,
we always called it the gypsy life. The gypsy life. The
gypsy, yes, absolutely. I was total gypsy. I'm still got a gypsy heart in me, but yeah. So I was going home at the home that I was at the time, and I had this like wave of dizziness, and I thought, oh my God, I'm being called to God. Like, I'm going to pass out. I'm going to die. My license is still in Florida. I'm going to be like an unknown person on the subway. No one's going to be able to find me. I had like flashes of like my mom and my dad and my grandma and my grandpa and my sister and my brother-in-law. And like, I was like, I can't go yet. And it was literal bright light, white, like a blackout, but it was a whiteout,
right.
Not a blackout. It was like and I just like, I quietly in my head was like, I remember staring at this other kid that was in the subway with me. I was staring at his shoes because I felt like I needed to like focus on something. And I just kept staring at his shoes, and I was like breathing and like put my head between my legs, and I just was like praying, and I'm like, God, if you let me live, I will quit drinking. I will quit all this. I please, just God, please let me live. And I just kept saying that over and over again. And got to my destination, went to where I was staying, went to the bed that I was sleeping in, because like I had no furniture. I was just like using whatever furniture was at the places that I was living. And I laid there. I didn't even have sheets, okay? Like I had a winter coat that was my fucking blanket. Excuse my language.
We're keeping it real.
I remember the jacket. It was my teal jacket that like is in the garbage right now. Like it's in like jacket heaven right now, because it's like too many memories were on that thing.
Right. Not good ones.
I had to like say bye-bye.
Hello.
Not that you could wear winter coats in Florida anyways, because I live in Orlando now. But anyways, I just laid there and I was like shaking and sweating and like detoxing. And it was like nasty. It was really gross. And I'm getting chills just talking about it. And I laid there and I felt like I wasn't alone in that room. I felt Jesus like spooning me, like holding me.
Right.
And I just like laid there shaking, and I couldn't fall asleep right away. But then eventually I did. And I had this huge bottle of vodka in my room. And I didn't want to like go out of my room and like throw it out or like pour it out, because I had roommates. So I just like threw it in the garbage of like the garbage in my room.
Like your daily garbage. Right.
Yeah. And then I remember like my roommate at the time knocked on my door, and he was like, hey, everybody went to me if they wanted to find alcohol. So like the guy literally knocked on my door to ask me if I had anything to drink. And I'm like, yeah, as a matter of fact. And it was so weird. It's like, he knocked like right then.
It was like, right. It was meant. It was meant to just.
It was meant to be, because I needed it out of my room. And he was like, do you have anything to drink? And I'm like, as a matter of fact, I have a whole bottle of vodka.
I ain't got orange juice, but I got vodka. Yeah.
I'm like, and you can have it. Like, have at it. And it was like, at that moment, that was it. And then I think it was either that night or the next day, I Googled AA. I won't talk about that too much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But that's an amazing story. It's pretty
crazy.
Graphic. It's I feel it with you. I can
get more graphic, but I won't get too graphic.
but I think as we were talking a little earlier, I think it takes a lot of courage to come out and share your story, because your story is just like so many others. There's so many people that are watching now that are gonna watch later that may have a similar story, or something, something else that, maybe this will help them feel a little liberated and say, you know what, I could tell my story, because this is the only way we can try to heal, is by sharing stories, because then we see that we're not alone in this. Because I know for myself, I mean, I'm 41 now. I've done, I've tried coke, marijuana, ecstasy. I mean, I sound like one of the Wendy Williams shows where she was like, I did this, I did that. But I did. I did. I explored so much, and
me too.
And some of it I really enjoyed, which was very dangerous, and for me was coke.
Me too.
You have Stephanie Nazar. She's saying happy sobriety. Rosa Figueroa, congrats on the sobriety.
Stephanie.
Danny Marrero, he says 1 day at a time, Lynn.
Yes.
1 day at a time.
Yes, absolutely.
That's all it's about. That's all it's about. So I remember thinking myself, kind of how you had that light bulb moment that, your angels, God just kind of said, wake up. That's it. Either now or never. It's kind of how the same, not the same feeling, but I would always think, are you going to be a bum? You're going to be a bum. Like that's what I would always think. And I knew that, oftentimes, sometimes I was depressed, or I went through this motion or that motion. So it's like you want to just kind of quiet up everything and numb out, and what you're numbing out with is just really addictive, and you got to deal with it sooner or later, or else you're gonna always be numbed out, so again, when in all of this, when did you find that it started? Like, were you just a social drinker and then figured out wait, I'm enjoying this too much? Because I know I started when I was 15. I worked at a bar. I tried it one time, and it was just here, there, once in a blue moon, and then it just kind of spiraled after that.
Yeah. Well, I like to say I'm in recovery 7 years from pretty much all of my addictions, because I had suffered from, like a lot of people, low self-esteem, depression, self-hatred, being uncomfortable in my own skin and not understanding what that means. Not understanding what depression means, understanding what, being shy and seeing other people outgoing around you, and just kind of feeling like an alien, like awkward and all that. So, I don't know, my addictions, and I don't share this a lot, but my addictions started out with food. I was a food addict. I had suffered from bulimia, anorexia, and then it formed into alcoholism, and then for a bit, drug addiction with coke, and then the combination of all of them. So thankfully, when I was able to go in recovery, I'm in a 12-step program. I've been able to manage and be in recovery from all of that. So that all started teenage years.
Wow.
13 years old, maybe 12, 13 years old.
Yeah, same here.
And just,
I remember back in the day, I'm sorry to interrupt. I remember back in the day, there used to be these wine coolers. I don't know if in Florida they had them, but they were refreshing. Well, no, not Zima. They were like wild
I remember
berry.
Zima.
They were like, oh, Zima, that was my drink. 15 years old. What? Zima?
Yes, it
It's
was.
like all you could get your hands on was
It was like
Zima.
a Sprite. It was like a
You're like
Sprite.
asking your older people to like get you a 6-pack of Zima or whatever. It's like, please give me a break. I could down like at the end of my drinking days, I could have like a freaking 12-pack of those, 24-pack of those.
Oh my
please.
God. Oh my God. But not for nothing, I have amazing memories with Zima. Oh my God. I wonder if they still make it. But
I don't think that. I don't think they do.
But they had,
I don't know. I don't want to find out.
Of course, Leo's gonna.
I just want to know. It's still
so
sold
funny.
and marketed in Japan.
Oh wow!
So
Look
there
at
you
that.
go.
But it did taste like Sprite.
Yes, it did.
But I remember drinking wine coolers because they kind of look like a soda. So yeah, I mean I started drinking early on. But what is amazing, Lynne? Of course, you are, for people that don't know, Lynne is a sister from another mister. Since I met her, yes.
Hello.
Yeah, it's just the other day I had a little breakdown. I called her and I apologize a million times because I hate to throw on my not baggage, because I don't have baggage, but sometimes you need a de-stress, and I'm an empath, so when you de-stress, like you call your mom or something, you throw all of that weight onto them. And I hate to do that. And I did that to Lynne. And Lynne was like, don't worry. No, you always listen to me. Blah, blah, blah.
You know what I said. You said that I always do that too. And I do. I'm like, well, you asked me, hey, baby, how's everything going? And I'm like, well, I don't really have much to say. And then open up the can of worms. And I'm like, blah, 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 blah.
She doesn't stop.
And like
but
dumping all of my baggage onto you.
But
I
listen.
gotta let it out. You know, that's the only way to heal. We're talking about growing pains here.
Right.
Listen, we don't get a rule book to be a human being.
No. And what's
get a rule book that says, here, this is how you are
right.
to be a human being.
Right. It's a learning. It's a learning
I still
journey.
don't know. I don't know what I don't know what I'm doing. I have no idea what I'm doing. Still, I have no effing clue.
By the way, Michelle Dillman is saying thank you for sharing in more ways than one. You have the kindest heart.
Oh, thank you, Michelle. I know you, Michelle.
Love
you.
Oh, she knows you. Yeah, no, Lynne is beautiful. But this as we're talking, this is amazing because sometimes you may not have someone to talk to. So just talking about this, someone could listen in and say, you know what, I'm not alone. Maybe let me reach out to the Freakin Rican. Let me reach out to Lynne. Reach out to someone.
Anytime.
Right.
That's my single my purpose. And you get a second chance at a life and you use it purposefully.
Right.
And I know that my purpose is when you grow up, you have all this pressure you think in your mind of the way that society is like your purpose is to find your career, make a lot of money,
get married,
move your ass, do this, do that. And you know what? No, it's not like that. It's a spiritual journey that I'm walking on to merge my career with my purpose and somehow
help others.
Yes, because it's all about,
give and receive is all about give and receive and
helping others, giving and receiving, helping yourself feel good, talking about it. Communication is so key. I mean, we need each other. I mean, people need people because, you can't do this alone.
And now with this COVID,
really what eats you up.
Now with this COVID, I feel people need more people than ever. I mean, I just went to the vet today. Something off track. I went to the vet today and they said, oh my God, I don't know what they said. So many people have. I said, how's business? That's what I said. Oh, business is amazing. Since COVID, everyone has a dog and a cat. but that's, it
That's
goes
part of therapy too.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah, it
yeah.
goes to show you, because people are feeling alone. They want to feel
Yeah.
loved. I mean, you don't get to see people smile anymore, or people afraid to hug. But now, Lynne, with everything that has happened and your sobriety, which obviously congratulations. How did purgatory? What inspired you to take a leap of faith and leave something that you knew that you were getting paid every single week? You could count on that, for taking a leap of faith and kind of throwing yourself off the cliff and become an entrepreneur. What was behind that?
Well, again, I've never been afraid to take risks when I know in my heart, mind, and soul that it's something that I need to do. Like when I moved to New York, like I said, that you just had that intuition, that intuitive nudge, which I feel like I've been pretty good at being guided. And so
And that you're open to it.
I just listen to it. I listen to it and I take action on it.
A lot of people are guided, but they have so much chaos going on that they don't really pay attention to the guidance.
Yes.
So,
well, the clarity definitely, comes even more with sobriety too, is having the awareness and the clarity. But even then, anyone that's listening, I don't have to say anything else except
mm-hmm.
when you know what
Whatever it is,
what makes you feel good, what inspires you, what lights up your day, what is that? Like, what is it that, whatever that is, what that is, whether it's, I don't know, music or everybody has like a passion.
So what was it for you to say, you know what, I'm gonna do this. I don't care. I'm gonna do it.
Yeah. Well, to be very blunt, like before I even got into working for Dior at 22 years old, I was with them for 15 years. I said that before, but before I even got into that, like I really wanted to be a socialite and not like work. Like I wanted to like just party all the time. And I'm not joking. Like I wanted to like get paid to like be like in New York, like Studio 54, like let's just party. Don't you get paid like to do that? Like I wanted to be an heiress or something. I was like, why wasn't I born with like a lot of money? What the F?
You wanted to be an influencer before an influencer.
Yeah, right.
I was pissed off about it. And I drank over it. Hello. I was like pissed. And so, anyways, it all happened, like that was like my path was supposed to be, with Dior. Like, honestly, I got into it because I wanted to do special effects makeup also. Like, I wanted to do something in entertainment. I knew I did not want to work like
we worked.
I was working at
Retail,
Albertsons as my first job, and I was miserable. Okay. I was like 18 years old. I was hating life anyways. And then I was hating it even more, that I was like, and I love my mom, but she was like, they have great benefits and all this other stuff. And I'm like, benefits, whatever. No, sorry, I don't care about any of that. And I saw there was like an ad or something, and like Halloween Horror Nights for Universal, and I applied for that, and I got a job at Universal as a character back in like 2000. Yeah, like back in the day, I was a demonic toy. And I met a friend and like got like went to do work for them full time, and I became Sam I Am and Woody Woodpecker for like a few years. It was like the coolest job ever, totally slack, which was like what I was all about at like age 20, 21. And I met a makeup artist there, a friend. And he knows who he is. And he was like, hey, there's a opening at Dillard's in the Florida Mall, and there was Chanel and Dior. And I was like, I don't know what Dior is. And like, I hope I get Chanel. And he got Chanel and I got Dior, and the rest is history. And I literally just like grew with the company. And I went, then at that time I was serious about, you know, climbing the corporate ladder and really getting focused on, you know, again, to be blunt, making a lot of money and living that kind of lifestyle. And you know, so then it brought me to years later, you know, being able to have, you know, more different titles with them, you know, regional artist, whatever. And then move into New York because I wanted to. And then again, like always wanted to work for myself. I always wanted to work for myself.
I know for myself.
Really deep down inside.
I know.
So I had all this knowledge from doing all that, and I wanted to start my own company. And definitely fashion is in the future for me because I absolutely love it. I'm inspired by it. And fashion inspired my makeup brand. But, you know, makeup is what I know. Fragrance is what I know. Skincare is what I know because I did it my whole career, my whole life. Dior raised me. I mean, I was, you know, just a baby.
Right.
And I'm an old fart. Now I'm an old fart.
No, you're still young.
I'm kidding. I'm 41. And, you know, I was, you know, in my mid 30s and I was a few years sober at the time. I moved back to Florida. I missed my family. I didn't know what I wanted to do necessarily, but I knew I wanted to do my own thing. So I saved up money, stayed with Dior for a few more years, and then took the leap of faith when I was at a specific amount of savings. I was like, I'm going to do this smart. You know, I'm not going to be an idiot about it. I'm going to be really strategic with my planning.
Right.
And you know, you have to do a combination of strategic planning and then leap of faith. You got to you can't just be like, oh, I'm just going to do this. You know, you got to be, you know, intelligent about your planning and procedure and executing it and, you know, researching and studying and trying to, you know,
be the best. Right. Be the best version of yourself and be the best that you can be at what you're doing. That's all you can do. And I know for myself, in knowing you and when you started this, I was so beyond proud. I'm still so beyond proud. I call you all the time. I received your fragrance today in the mail because, of course, I always support my friends. I'm a big supporter. And I was like, oh, my God, I hope I get it.
You're awesome.
And so I got it. And I'm like, oh, my God. I'm telling Victor. And I said, you're not getting. I said, I paid for it. No. But luckily, Lynne sent another one, so I said, "Okay, you can have it." But
and it smells awesome, by the way.
Oh my God,
another one,
Lynne!
Let me
tell you,
your own now.
Yes. So this is it here, guys. It's Purgatory, the fragrance. And let me tell you, it's unisex.
It makes you do this.
No, it's just it. What I like about a fragrance is that you can smell it, but it doesn't give you a headache. Yes. So you really like it's like, wow, is there, you know? So I like it, and it reminds me of, I hate to like, I'm not comparing. I'm saying I love it so much, and it reminds me of fragrances that I love, which are Creed. I have Creed, which is the one I have. That was like a whole thing to get because it's like $400 something. Victor was like, oh my God, I can't believe you're getting that. I'm like, he didn't let me get it. And then he bought it for me. I was like, good boy. Yeah, no, I was so happy because I wanted it so bad. And Tom Ford. So it reminds me of Tom Ford fragrances and Creed fragrances. It just has that something in there that's like, it's so good. So where can people purchase your makeup and your fragrance? And if you could tell the viewers that are watching now something about your makeup and Purgatory, the brand.
Well, first of all, I mean, thank you again for, having me on here and just even all the shout outs and all of your support, love through the process of the beginning and now and past, present, future.
I gotta say this, Lynn. Hold on. I always love people for free. I don't need anything from you. I just need you to be my friend and to really love me for free. I'm devoted to you all my life. That's just the way I am. And I love you. Okay, continue. Continue.
And I'm the same,
Yes, you are.
And you
yes,
know
you
that.
Are.
And
she sends Halloween cards. She sends Christmas cards. She's so cute. She sends me unicorns because I love unicorns. I know it's such a big man, and I like unicorns. I love unicorns. So Lynne always sends me unicorns. So I'm like so happy. But continue. Tell everyone about your amazing brand. That my sister loves the mascara. She loves the red lip. So tell them.
Okay. Well, you said about the, I'll talk about the fragrance and I'll kind of, go back to the, description of my brand, but the notes in the fragrance, and you said about, Tom Ford and Tom Ford and Killian were my inspiration, with the fragrance. And, once again, I was divinely guided to a perfume master and manufacturer in Milan, Italy, like divinely guided. God, like nice. After research and testing and spending money to try to do it myself and all this other stuff, very difficult. And, when you work bougie, you are bougie. I have a bougie heart.
I didn't want to say it, but
I like my $500
bougie.
creams. I like my $500, $500 fragrances, $500 creams, makeup, whatever. And, so you're getting basically the luxury and the quality of $500, $400, whatever. Let's not put a price on it, but high quality stuff for example, the fragrance is only $115 for 1.7 ounces, but it's the highest quality ingredients in Milan, Italy, that are the rawest materials that they find over there. So it has vanilla, tonka bean, it has rum, coffee, maple, caramel, amber. So those are the notes in it. And
I love it.
Yes.
Right.
I can't drink
amazing.
Certain things, and I as an addict, I have things that I love, but I can smell it, and that I could do that all day long. I don't have to like consume it in other ways, but I can consume it in candles and fragrances. That's why I'm a sensitive person, and I'm a sensey. I love senses, sight, sound, taste, touch, smell.
So let me ask you a question, Lynn. So in the process of putting this together, putting the fragrance together, you probably went through a couple of different recipes, if you will, right? Before you decided on this one? And how does that process work? Like, do you just tell them, I want this and this, and they put it together?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, basically, you say, I want this, this, this. And well, it's, email really. Yeah. I didn't unfortunately get to go to Milan, Italy, which they're, right now they're not doing great with the whole situation. But yeah, it's just a trial and error. It's a trial and error. And,
always tweaking.
And unfortunately, it's more of a trial and error that is pricier because you can't go there.
Right.
And you can't, travel and be in the laboratory with them. Right. So it's a lot of trial and error. So yeah, it was basically tweaked, and it was basically done and finished by the company that I worked with. Nice.
And it's amazing.
So yeah.
And tell us about your makeup.
My makeup brand. Sorry.
Yeah, tell us about your makeup. What makes it so so amazing?
So the same thing for my makeup brand, but my makeup brand is from the U.S. And it's made here in the U.S. and it's cruelty-free and mineral-based and healthy makeup, really. And that was actually, I was working with mature women mostly, and I was working with, and I'm a mature woman now too. I'm aging. Not that I'm old, but I've always been into anti-aging products and good for your skin products, of course, with my background. And I wanted something to be for the everyday woman. I wanted it to be for simple, easy, and for non-makeup artists, to be honest with you. It's not trendy. It's not sparkly. It's not a trend brand. It's an edgy, I call it edgy sophistication, because I do have inspiration of like I said, from fashion. So I wanted it to be kind of edgy with the name, because a lot of people ask me, what does the name mean? And it's not supposed to be super deep. It can be, but it's not supposed to be purgatory. It's not supposed to be like, oh, I'm like a devil worshiper. I mean, like, I love God. Purgatory is actually a made up word that means, actually, it's a positive word. It means the area between heaven and hell where you go to purify yourself. True. So how apropos is that to why we're here on this earth? I feel like we're living in purgatory. We're trying to we're trying to purify ourselves. We're trying to be better people every day, right. And try to find out what like this all is all about. Because like being a human is really trippy, man. It's like weird.
But you know what? Stories like this help along the way. Now, Lynne, I'm sorry to cut you off. I just want to let the viewers know that Lynne is doing an amazing thing, and she's giving you guys 10% off. So you could go to the website, shop for Christmas, New Year's, birthdays, and put in Freakin Rican in all caps at checkout, and you'll receive 10%. I guarantee you get this fragrance for, it could be your brother, it could be your mother, your sister.
It's gender neutral. It's gender neutral. It's
amazing.
It's for men and women. Yeah.
I love it.
It's
You can tell them.
It's www.purgartory.com. It's like purgatory, but you have to have the art in it, ART, because if you forget the ART in there, then it'll bring you to a ski slope place. I will. So in Poughkeepsie or like somewhere in upstate New York or something, it will take you there. And that's not my website. It's PURGARTORY.com.
Yeah, we have it on the screen for them too.
Not just for you, but like my whole purpose in building this brand is, listen, I suffered a lot from body dysmorphia. And like I said earlier, depression, low self-esteem, and I still do. I was very grateful to have the opportunity to use some of my savings. I did not dip into my new money, but gift myself with a nose job this year because it was something that ate me up with a very, very dark insecurity that probably contributed to my addictions. And we need to treat ourselves. And my brand Purgatory is all about people, connection, self-expression, mental health awareness through art, because makeup is art, creativity, art, makeup, fashion, that's all art, creativity, through that, putting on some makeup, putting on a great fragrance.
Just feeling better.
Good, you feel good. If
whatever
you smell
you do
good, you feel
to feel
good.
better.
You feel better. You feel better. This is also you can get this necklace too. It's not on my website. You can DM me on my Instagram at Purgatory.
So Lynne, because we're
I know
running.
we gotta hurry. We gotta hurry up. Because I say I'm
this
shy.
is what happens
I'm
when
an
she
introvert
calls me,
acting as an
guys.
extrovert.
This is what happens when she calls me.
What we're gonna do is we're gonna put everything that we're going through in the details in the comments, so you guys can actually go through it. We're gonna also add your Instagram, so people can go to it's on screen right now. By the way, I love the pictures that are on there. And before we go anywhere, I love your tattoos. Not gonna lie, I see the one you have on there. Yes, I love tattoos.
Yeah, no,
so.
yeah, beautiful, beautiful.
Yes.
Now, Lynne, I want to ask you
Brett Barr.
I want to ask you one thing quickly. What would you tell your 12-year-old self now? What message?
Oh my gosh.
It's okay.
You know what? I don't even know if I would tell her. I think it's more about showing. I think words sometimes are not enough. I think it's affection. It's the way that you hold someone. Your
so
warmth,
you would give her a big hug.
Your warmth, your aura. So I would probably give myself more hugs, give myself more cuddles, and tell myself at that age, that I was beautiful and that I could do whatever I wanted, and that, to have faith, that God is always guiding you, and He is.
I love it. And now, one last thing. What can you tell someone that's watching us right now? What would you tell them if they're going through something right now? What message could you tell them?
Reach out. Don't hold it inside, because that is the biggest problem, I think, is that people are too afraid to share their story, because they're it's embarrassing. It is. I mean, I'm not proud of a lot of things that
Yeah, neither am
that I said. So you don't want to talk to people. You feel weird.
Right.
But
it's part
talk
of
to
growing
somebody
pains.
that you feel safe talking to, and reach out, because I bet you any amount of money that when you open up to that other person, they have their own story too, because everybody has a story. Everybody has a story of something that, we're flawed. Humans are flawed. We all are insecure in our own ways. We all are driven by fear. My big fear is fear of what others think of me, fear of the future, financial fear, things that people, all humans have. And so I would say, reach out, and know that, don't put so much pressure on yourself. Okay. Don't put so much pressure on yourself.
I love it, and we're gonna wrap it up on that. I was looking at the clock, and it was 5:55, which I'm a big we're
big
like
into numbers.
Yes. So I love you, Lynne. Thank you so much for sharing your story. I'm sure you're gonna inspire many people.
I hope
once
so.
Again,
that's all I care about.
We're gonna be leaving your social media, your website, so you could hit up Lynne. If you need a word, you could hit her up, or us. Remember, keeping it real. And so
keep it real.
I love you, Lynne. Bye.
I love you.
She's so cute.
You have people here that are very appreciative of Lynne's story.
Yes.
Swagger Robles, he's saying that appreciates the story. Gerardo Nieves, absolutely, your words speak. Jackie Lopez, thank you. You are so right. And you had a question, and we're gonna go with a question real quick. Al Jose Gonzalez, saludo from the island. Love your content and recipes. Is COVID killing businesses? How real is the situation in New York, and what are you doing to make ends meet?
Yes, it is.
Part of the growing pains, man.
Yes, it's a big growing pains. A lot of businesses are closing. And if we shut down again, more businesses are going to close. So for us, I mean, we're built so differently. We have so many umbrellas to our business. So the Freakin Rican is the brand, and then you have, you know, the umbrellas, which is the products, the restaurant, the catering, the delivery, the podcast, the YouTube, the apparel, the merchandise, you know. So we have so much. So thankfully, we're doing amazing. But this is why, you know, we're going to continue to do interviews and talk about, you know, people's journeys and their businesses, because I feel when you have some type of platform, it's a give and receive. So you have to help people, especially in these times.
Yes, we do, man. You guys, again, we're going to put all the links where you can find Lynne, where you can find Purgatory. By the way, I love Artatory. I love it.
Yes.
You go purgatory.com.
I love Lynne.
You can find that.
And not for nothing, not because she's my friend, because I'm a very critical, like, I really do keep it real with my friends. I wouldn't lie to my friends. Though. Yeah, I mean, there's some people that won't. Some people be like, oh my God, I love it. And it's like, crap. No. No, like literally, like her lipsticks really stay on. The eyeliners really stay on. Because of course, I'm from a makeup background too. So you put it on, it stays on. The fragrance, I smell it. I love it. So you know it's quality. I know we got to leave soon. But I kind of wanted to thank everyone. We thank everyone and let everyone know, just in case you're placing orders for the holidays. Right now, we're up to like 100-something dozen pasteles right now.
Wow.
So yeah, it's our world is really crazy. We're probably gonna get them all out this week because we make, no lie, tomorrow we're gonna make maybe like 8 masas.
Wow.
So that every masa we get about like 12 dozen. So and every week we do, let's say 2 masas today, 3 masas the next day. So it's like a factory. So guys, you're gonna get it. Thank you so much for your support. And thank you, Leo. Thank you, Lynne. And make sure you follow us on our social media. Follow us here on YouTube. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe.
And now,
yes,
they can find us on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn, wherever you get your podcast needs.
Yes.
Make sure you go and subscribe. Look for Keeping It Real, or just type in Freakin Rican.
Right.
And
if you have ideas of content, of things that you would like to hear, just shoot us a message, okay? And right now, I'm going to let you guys go. I love you. Always remember, la vida mejor con un buen sabor. Spread love. I love you guys.